Here is a video about 5 things that hypnosis is great for, and you probably didn't know it.
Good.
Let's do it, Mike.
Let's do it. When people find out you're a hypnotist, very often they'll say, and this has been my experience for 50 odd years, can you help me quit smoking? And I'd always do my comedy line, no. But if you're a non-smoker, hypnosis can get you started really quick and we'll get you up to 4 packs a day and you'll be hooked for life.
Oh,
ha ha, big funny joke.
And hypnosis does work well for smoking, provided the person's at threshold. We have other videos on that. Maybe we'll have a little card pop up here on our video about threshold. It's also very well associated to weight loss, right? So if somebody has tried everything, they're obese or overweight and they want to lose weight, they might come to a hypnotist and say, can you help me lose weight? I've tried everything else. So
and the answer is yes.
Yeah.
But those are the 2 things it's mostly known for. Let's go through the list of these 5.
Yeah, there's a few things that it is amazing for. You may not realize it, and we're here to teach you all about it.
I'll start you off.
Let's start with pain. Yeah.
Hypnosis excels in treating pain. We have numerous methods. We just did a 1-week training again in Toronto. We taught them about 6 different ways at least of dealing with the subject's pain. We can turn pain down because when it's useless and pointless as a signal, we already know you've injured your ankle. You don't have to keep feeling horrendous pain until it heals. We can remove that with hypnosis or take most of it away. It can be used for pain management for things like dentistry. So a secondary molar can be removed with no pain whatsoever.
Yeah, even as simple as causing someone to go into deep relaxation, what that does in the nerve brush endings is separates them.
Yes, the brush endings move apart, makes it harder
for the signal,
the message to cross. Yes, which is electrochemical.
The signal can't cross the chasm as easily, so it reduces pain if it doesn't dial it all the way down to 0. So relaxation on its own can help tremendously. And of course, there is the reference to James Esdale, the Scottish surgeon who wrote the book Mesmerism in India, thought that mesmerism was animal magnetism, did mesmerism on all these people in India
in
who
Calcutta,
had testicular tumors.
Yes, up to 80 pounds.
Yeah, they're very
and he
large.
removed them. He had to suspend the tumor from the ceiling and literally hack it off. And it would take 20 minutes to cut through it, but there'd be very little bleeding.
And if there'd be very little pain, which would also result in no pain, which means no shock. No shock, right? Which means not as much.
The
death.
mortality is reduced from 50% of people who had an operation died down to 8%, and it would be post-operative infection and shock and so on.
So
but that was eliminated. So it's pain. It's dealing with pain. What about burns?
Okay, well, burns, it's funny because burns, you could reduce the pain from the burn, but also
there's more than that.
If you use a simple hypnotic protocol, just some basic imagery where you're imagining something like tiny little firemen spraying liquid nitrogen on that burned finger. In fact, on our last podcast, I was just talking about how I did this to myself. Campfire wood that I burned myself on.
And I did it on a student in class last week.
So you can shut down the chemical bradykinin.
Bradykinin is an enzyme. And so when you're burned, there's the burn from the heat. That's something you can't do anything about.
The physiological damage from the fire. Yeah.
But then if you can get to hypnosis within the first 2 hours, according to Dabney Yu and MD, and he's right, you can stop the bradykinin release. Bradykinin is the secondary burn that comes from the massive inflammation on site. And hypnosis is great for, in fact, it should be the frontline defense with anybody who suffered burns. It's that powerful.
I would agree with that 100%. All right, let's look at number 3 is allergies. So this could be not seasonal, but this could be an allergy in the environment, or it could be a food allergy.
A food allergy that causes anaphylaxis.
So I've done most recently an egg allergy with a woman.
Great result.
Completely vanished. Then just last week in class, we had Ellie come to the front of the classroom and you did a demonstration with him, and he had all kinds of food allergies, but he picked celery and carrots, which I would imagine chemically are not at all similar.
I wouldn't think so.
Completely vanished, and it was pressure tested right then and there.
He could eat celery with no response whatsoever.
And he normally said just smelling it, like if someone was chewing it and the fragrance from their mouth or whatever, or if somebody had broken a piece of celery, it would have caused him extreme discomfort, just the smell. Now it was gone. So allergies.
We did not tell him to test it.
No.
We always tell people, go to your allergist and get retested.
And this was not an anaphylaxis situation.
No, so it was
safe for him to test.
And his mom was there.
So allergies can be very effective. And we have a YouTube video on the so-called NLP allergy cure. We hesitate to call it a cure, even though the symptom might
We prefer to call it an immune
Mm-hmm.
system retrain. So it does not respond aggressively against something that's entirely innocuous.
All right, and we got 2 left. Phobias and anxieties.
Oh, perfect.
So let's just go through those quickly.
Phobias are are created by events in the past, initial sensitizing events that cause someone to treat something harmless as something terrifying. So it could be a phobia of snakes, could be mustard, could be anything, whatever's become anchored in the distant past. And they're formed in the first 7 years of life, generally speaking, usually within the first 4. We can take them into the past, have them dissociate while in trance, run the event backwards, forwards, scramble it, and then you can subject them to the thing they were terrified of, and there's no fear whatsoever.
Mustard.
I like it.
I love that random example. And then we have, of course, anxieties, which are, whereas phobias are
anchored in the past.
They tend to be digital. Like it's on, like a light switch is on or off, whereas anxieties tend to be more like that dimmer switch at a nice
build
dining
gradually.
room.
They're future things. The what if. What if when I give that talk,
Mm-hmm.
there's a bad sound system? What if nobody can hear me? What if nobody's listening? What if nobody cares?
What if
all
they ignore me?
Build,
What
build,
if they
build.
reject me? Yeah.
So we run the anxiety protocol, the future event protocol, run the event that has not happened backwards and then forward. It's impossible to have a fear backwards, any emotion, in fact. And that'll clear it. We just ran one last week in front of the class again.
100%. So I would say that these qualify as a lot of everyday problems. A lot of everyday problems, people have pain. They may burn themselves. They may have allergies. They have anxieties or phobias. These are kind of everyday problems. Yeah, chronic pain. That's what I said.
No, but I'm saying
acute or
chronic pain that you would die with.
100%.
We can reduce that so much that they can live with it instead of dying with it.
So while hypnosis is amazing for smoking, cessation, or getting started, I suppose, if you want to do it the wrong way. So you can use hypnosis to quit smoking, to lose weight, to do a lot of things, but you can also use hypnosis for all these things that you may not have realized. And if you want to learn hypnosis, come and check out the Mike Mandel Hypnosis Academy. It's completely free to get started, and then you're free to choose whether you want to continue with us, and you will want it because it's freaking awesome. Look at this guy
today.
Yeah. All right, so let's have you click that subscribe button.
And I'd like to ring the bell
on YouTube. Yeah, and then after you
go.
hit that subscribe button, you'll get that bell that you can ring on YouTube.
Satisfying
so
ring.
you'll know when we post new videos because you want to watch them because they're awesome.
That's right.
And we'll see you in the next one.
Thanks again.
And
Good night.
Good night.